Oh, okay.
Oh, you can lift.
Guys, we here on our oversight, as we have given notice that we would like to come in, just do a couple of checks in terms of the load shedding and the readiness of the Kimberley Hospital. So, and obviously would like to see also, the generators. Where are they situated, that operate and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's my song and dance in short.
Mr. Lowe, as I've indicated, when there were requests that we made for political parties to do oversight in health facilities, management was allowed to take them along, show them in terms of what we are raising. But it was picked up that there were some kind of challenges in terms of management that tempers the patient care in the rights of patients at times. That resulted to a decision that was taken by the National Health Council that we should try very hard to communicate to all political parties not to go into health facilities. If there are specific issues that they can raise it, the MEC is responsible for the facility, for health services. And subsequent to that, there was a press statement that was issued by the National Minister by Dr. Mutwadi in communicating that decision of the minister. You would remember there were cases at some stage when we had to go and then management was not really cooperative. When we were not authorized to take you along. But when you requested as DA, you wanted to go to the union that was there. You said that if you go through the office of the MEC, when you authorize the union. But after that, it didn't only happen in Northern Cape, it's happening across the country. When the National Health Council decided that health facilities should not be used for electioneering. It might not be because they're here for electioneering, it's just because they're concerned in terms of oversight. But because of incidents that were reported, a decision was taken to say that because it tempers with the services to patients at times. So I don't know whether the AG did receive that communication that was sent by the National Ministry of the oversight, that there was a firm request, please, that all political parties, no faith, should not go into health facilities because it tempers patients' rights. As a result, IEC doesn't even allow patients to vote. So we are requesting. That's why I called your DA's office now when I learned that there were members of the DA outside. So let me speak to the leadership to say there is this thing that they're saying, but this comes after a directive was given to say, please, that was communicated to the broader public, to all political parties, please don't go to health facilities because it can be misconstrued that you are going for electioneering whilst you go for oversight.
May I just make a point? I've been a public representative for 20 years. I'm a member of the National Assembly. I'm the chief whip of the opposition. Mr. Mutsaledi serves in the same legislature as me. I exercise oversight over Mr. Mutsaledi. And that is my job in terms of the Constitution. This is the first time I'm being denied access to any public facility. In the 20-something years I've been a public representative. I'm not asking to go into the wards. I don't want to interact with patients. I'm here with a specific purpose because I'm concerned as a Member of Parliament of the effect of load shedding on our health facilities. I want to be able to take the information back to Parliament so that we can make sure that our hospitals are covered, so that in fact the patient's health is not compromised due to load shedding. I'm here to determine, and I've got a list of questions I wanted to ask you around generators, what the emergency mechanisms are put in place when load shedding happens, what effect this has on patients. This is my responsibility as a public representative. I don't want to come and talk to your patients. I want to talk to the hospital management. I don't need a tour of the wards.
Yeah.
I'm not going to interfere with patients at all. I just would like to get some answers to how load shedding is affecting the hospital, what mechanisms the hospital has in place, what the access to diesel for your generators is. Are things running smoothly during load shedding? I'm not here to, to go and worry about patient care and the type there. I've got some specific questions because we have a nationwide crisis on load shedding. So I'm very happy to sit in an office with you and ask you the questions. I don't need to do a ward visit. I don't need to interact with a single one of your patients. I just would like to interact with the hospital management and exercise some oversight and get some of the information so that I can go back to Parliament and do the job that I was elected to do. Now, Mr. Motsoaledi can issue whatever he likes, but he's also bound by the oversight and accountability model of Parliament. And section 4.26 of that individual member oversight, which was adopted by the National Assembly, including by Mr. Motsoaledi, talks about individual members' oversight and its importance to be able for individual MPs to go and conduct oversight and bring the information back to Parliament. Part of our oversight and accountability model, which gives effect to our constitutional mandate to exercise oversight. When I get told I can't interact with your management, when I get told I can't come into the facility, it makes me concerned because it's impeding me as a member of Parliament from doing my job, which is to come here and exercise that oversight. So I'm really making a plea to you. I understand that you don't want us to interact with your patients. I understand the patient confidentiality, and I'm happy to respect that. But I do have some specific questions around generators, which I don't think that would impede in any patient's rights or any patient's right to care if I'm able just to interact with the management around that particular issue.
John, just in addition to that, I must also say that, I mean, despite the fact that, we are aware of some challenges, today would be the first time that we've been not allowed access to get into the premises. But again, the issue here is we don't want to see a patient. We're not interested in looking at a patient. I was hoping that by the time when we arrive here at the premises, you would actually take us to a boardroom or even an office where we can actually ask questions so that we can interact. And once we are happy with what we have seen, the purpose for the visit, and just to amplify what my colleague has said, is obviously we are concerned. Load shedding is a problem, and it's a serious problem, specifically also in hospitals. And that is why we want at least to have that kind of security, or rather that peace of mind to say that the Kimberley Hospital people, there is a contingency plan. In the unlikely event if load shedding affect them badly like it did a couple of weeks and on a daily basis, they do have a plan and action in place. And in addition to that, we would maybe like to see how your generators operate as well. Those are the only two things that we are worried about. I don't even want to pass through any of these patients. Firstly, we respect the patients, we respect the rights of people, and we also need to do our oversight responsibility. That is crucial to me. You see, Mr. Jack, this thing is very worrisome because on Sunday night, I got a call, and I'm sure by now you know, that your CEO should have told you, that on Sunday night I got a call from people from Namakwa who called me. I was busy on a campaign, and they said to me, you know what, we are sitting here, we were driven from Namakwa up to here between 9 and 11 hours. And when those people arrived here, there was no food for them, there was no bedding for them, there was nothing for them. And what I find very distasteful is the fact, despite the fact that the DA, and our intention was not to politicize this thing, despite the fact that we organized these people to go stay in guest houses and also food and so on. My intention was not even to publicize this thing and make it a political thing, because firstly, there's a human element attached to this. But you left me with no choice. So that is where we are.
I must indicate that it's in no way that we wish to stop public representatives from being oversight of us. And if one would recall what I said earlier, this is not specifically to DA. I said all political parties. It's not about it. Because when it happened earlier, where management felt that they were actually removed from their official duties to do work and facilities and also to assist patients, MEC communicated, say when political parties or the public representative wants to do oversight, they must go through proper channels. And the channel that we have created, that it should be through the office of the and of which
A politician.
yeah, and of which
A politician.
no, not
Yeah,
really.
he's a politician.
Just allow me to finish. And of which DA assisted us when we wanted to go to mental hospital. We never had an issue. We allowed it. Now, the request you are talking about, as the office of the MEC, we are hearing it for the first time that the DA wanted to come here and bring oversight in terms of the generators. It was never communicated to us prior, so that we can actually alert management to say the DA is ready, the DA is coming, but the DA is coming for 1, 2, 3, 4. We only learn about it now, as we are telling us. Because there's no problem. If this was communicated in time, we could have actually spoken to management and say that please assist, comply, because there's nothing that you need to hide here. The issue of load shedding that we are raising is a concern to us as well, in the office of the MEC. And the MEC, in terms of oversight, we want to see that things being done. Patient care should not be compromised due to electricity and the like. There must be mechanisms in place to ensure that the electricity supply is constant to supply the facility. So this is not intended to say, you cannot do that and that. But what we say that please let's follow the proper channels, so that.
Mr. Jake, I beg to differ. Okay. Because it has always been standard practice from my office. We communicate, even the media. The reason why they're here is because we gave them a media alert. And as part of our brief, we tell them what is the reason for our visit. I mean, it stands for reason. We cannot just rock up here unannounced. We cannot just rock up here not even knowing that, you guys not knowing that we are coming. We go as far as even to give a brief to say the purpose for the visit. We want to look at particular issues. So that has been communicated from my office. I'm really shocked to hear that that you haven't received that notice. It really, I cannot comprehend it.
We haven't. That I can put it on record. We haven't. The last time your office communicated to us, hence we agreed that there's nothing that stops you as DA to go to the mental hospital. You went there. You were not deterred. This is for the first time that we are getting this request. That's why we're shocked. That's why I communicated to DA's office to say we are seeing people here in the facilities, and they were not doing what you are saying you are doing now, because they were here busy talking to patients and doing all those kind of things. That's why we are alarmed to say that we have communicated around this issue.
Well, Mr. Jack, sorry, I disagree with you completely. Your office, via your PA, including the MEC, have received that notification, but I will tell you what is the answer. Your MEC have given instructions to say the DA is not going to come here on site. That is a bone of contention. We have communicated that through. If you want me through, I can forward it through to the media to show them that communication has been followed through. We have followed the right procedures and the channels, because we're dealing with each other on a daily basis. We have done that, but it goes without saying. The MEC have given instruction that the DA should not be allowed on the premises. That is the issue that was said. I'm telling you that's the truth.
That's not
your office, and besides, the MEC, Mr. Jack, as a political head here, has no right.
No.
She has no right.
MEC never issued such an instruction.
Yeah, she has no right to tell us that we cannot come here. I am doing my constitutional obligation as a member of the legislature. We have oversight over the MEC. We are here and we want to come and do oversight because we have followed the due processes. It is completely, you see, you said on the one hand that we should not play politics. We don't want to play politics. The questions that we're raising here, we are concerned about load shedding and the readiness about this hospital in terms of how you will handle the crisis that not only you faced, but the reason why we are specifically coming here is because the lives of people are at risk. That is what we're looking at, and we want to find out. And it's not only that we're doing it at this hospital. To be quite honest, John, they're doing exactly what they've been doing in the other hospitals as well. When they hear that the DA is coming and do an oversight, they've done it with me last week in Namakwa. When I visited that hospital there, they shut it down. They put the security in front so that we should not be allowed access there. And bearing in mind, that hospital is not even operational. It's a brand new hospital which is not operational. I mean, I find it distasteful, Mr. Jack, and I agree with you. All the time it was fine. That we must go to the mental health hospital, we must go there, we must go there. We never used to have a problem. Here's the media, they can bear testimony to that. But I find it now strange that the same department, we want to practice our oversight in order to help. That is what we want to do.
Mr. Lowe.
Yes.
Mr. Lowe, your office communicated with me directly as the head of the ministerial services on the visit.
Yes.
To the madams. We facilitated that. There were no glitches around that. This one, I'm saying, I'm putting an end on record. We are hearing it for the first time. That DA is coming. Because the statement that was issued by the national ministry had to say that let's try to speak to political parties not to use health facilities for electioneering. I'm not saying DA is coming.
But you're alleging that we're electioneering.
No.
These questions here don't
That's
have political
that's
sense.
the behavior of your members when they were in this facility.
But you can't. But
No.
With respect, it's
They
not me.
are.
I'm a member of parliament.
I know. I know. I
cannot-
do
you
respect.
cannot
That's what.
You cannot treat me
Mr.
blame me
No.
for what other people have done. I'm
Mr.
flown in this morning to do a job, to do my job. You're stopping me from doing the job.
Sir, your members confirmed they are here for canvassing. They confirmed it's on record.
But sorry, Mr. Jack, with respect, I don't know which members you're talking about. I'm here as a member of parliament, as an elected public representative, to fulfill my constitutional duty. You're impeding me from performing my constitutional duty. You're blocking me from getting answers
we are not
to the
blocking
question.
you.
You're blocking me. Well,
You
can
see
you
the-
give me the question? Can you answer the questions?
The problem.
Will you give me the answers to the question? I'm happy to stand in the car park and get the answers to
Give
the
us
questions.
a chance to explain.
I would like to stand in the
We
car park
will
and get
engage
answers to the
with you
questions.
because there's nothing we are running away from.
Thank you. Then let's
When
get down to it.
I called your office, the administration office called you, Mr. Lowe. When I explained to Mr. Lowe the situation at the hospital, he said, the two of you are coming here.
Yes.
But how if the own members are doing that, they are plundered. Because that's what's not the intention. That's what he said.
Yes, okay.
That's what he said.
Let's just get down to the
So
text.
we can have a meeting with yourself,
Thank you. Let's
with
get to it.
management to talk about these issues. Because now we are too preemptive now, as if now we are blocking you. We'll never block any person with good. No, we never said that. But you're saying it cannot. It has to. It has to. It has to. Because we agreed. We agreed. Because it was never an issue. That's what Mr. Lowe said. When you communicated through using the right channels, we never had an issue with this thing.
Right into the
Can we go
section.
somewhere?
With due respect to you,
let's
Mr.
go
Jack,
to
do
the-
you
to
read
the
your
office.
emails? Do
I
you read your
do.
emails?
I do.
Well, it's a pity that phone of no, we've
I
got it.
get it.
Okay. I want to show you that email that went
I do.
to your PA, to yourself, and to the MEC. I mean, it would really be disingenuous for me to come here this morning to try and create the impression that I communicated with you and whereas I did not. Guys, we are following the rule to the letter. In my being here, it cannot be. It really cannot be. I mean, John, it's very clear, unless if we can, within the next couple of minutes, get the responses on some of these answers that we want, the questions that we want, we can. My only worry is we are blocking the flow of traffic of people here. Can't we do it maybe standing there in the sun? And then maybe you can respond to that. That's all that we want. Yeah, let's go. Sure.
Because obviously there was a invitation on the side.
Sorry,
Coming
I
here,
don't-
if you didn't meet us, what
Yes.
would have
Does the
happened?
MEC have an
You could
office
have
on
accessed,
site here?
no, you could have accessed the facility without prior arrangement.
No, there is arrangement. There's a
Can we make
next.
an arrangement to say, let's go to the office of the MEC?
I was hoping you
Where
would
we
have
are
done that
able
10
to-
minutes ago already.
From the office of the MEC.
But I don't want to speak to the MEC, I want to speak to the head of the facility.
No, let's go to the facility.
But the MEC is not, with respect, the MEC doesn't run this hospital on a day-to-day
And we don't
basis.
need the NEC
You are here on your
permission to
political
access the
oversight, but
facility.
you are
No, I'm not here on my
Well, you don't want to
political
speak to your
oversight.
What are you
counterpart.
in your capacity?
I'm
In your
here as a
capacity
member
as
of
what?
parliament,
Let me
As an
see.
MP.
takes us oversight of this facility.
Your counterpart is
As
one.
an
As a
MP,
member of parliament,
not the
I'm
official.
elected in
So,
I'm not a member of the legislature.
He doesn't need the
I'm not a
permission
member
of the MEC to
legislature.
do oversight.
I'm a member of the National Assembly. I don't
Then you are
need to get my
confusing.
He
No,
doesn't need
you
the
want me to
permission of
deal
the
with a
MEC.
politician.
No,
I want
Let's
answers.
let's move so that we don't block the politician. There's
I
nothing
said-
wrong.
I said
We
that a
can
couple of
even
minutes
ask-
ago already.
We can ask even the CEO to come.
We don't.
There's nothing
We
wrong.
will confuse matters because
Let's go
you
to
know,
we should not fight us. There's
Yeah.
nothing to
We'll
fight
do
about.
political work
Man
instead
needs
of
to understand that. I don't need to
And you are one of them.
No,
You
no,
are one
no,
of them.
member of
I'm
the
telling you.
Your people here,
You are one of them. You are not a politician. You are an official. You are an official. You are not a. You are not a. I'm gonna catch your hands. It's just I'm watching you. You are one. You want to pretend like this. No, I'm not. You like to keep your politician. You are not a politician. You are an official. And you must behave like a politician. Who's going to give me the answers to my questions? But it's the issue now.
My point is simple. We don't need permission from the MEC. It was simply a courtesy
Let's
call.
go. Let's go. I mean, we had very good cooperation all these years, Mr. Chair. I find it very strange. Really.
I don't know why this becomes an issue, because we never had an issue. Because we knew that DA, whenever DA wants to make to do oversight, they will communicate using the right channels. When the DA felt that the administration was not cooperating, you raised the matter and you interview to say that if it goes through the office of the ABC, we'll be able to speak to the management of facilities to work with the DA and any other.
Mr. Jack, there's an email. There's an email.
And it shows that you receive it.
And you've read it as well, not just received.
Yes. I haven't seen
It's saying
It is.
exec. Can you open that so that we know exactly?
Let's not become technical.
All right, it's
I
fine.
just want to. You see, earlier on I told you want to be the politician.
I'm not a politician.
No, you
Okay,
want
it's
to be
fine.
I'm
one.
the
That's your
spokesperson of
problem.
the MEC.
Yes.
I'm not a politician. I'm the spokesperson of the MEC.
Yes, no, yes.
Let us
Shouldn't
not fight
exclude the
over
two.
nothing. There's nothing to fight about.
I'm the spokesperson of the MEC.
The only thing that
Political
DA
office bearer.
is in
You represent
agreement
a
with
politician.
the
You're
view
a-
that
you're a
was
political
pronounced the
office
National
bearer.
Health
Your
Council.
contract is linked to the MEC.
I'm
You're
the
a political
spokesperson of the
No.
MEC.
Well, I don't want
It
to talk
ends
to you.
there.
I want to talk to the hospital facility. And I want to get the answers to these questions. How do I go about doing it?
No. What's going to happen? We are going to have you in the boardroom of the CEO,
Great. Let's
where
do it.
there would be a meeting between yourself, the CEO, and us, so that we
Great,
get
let's
answers
do
to
it.
it. That's all.
Okay, let's do
But
it.
what we are just saying that please try very hard to communicate this view that canvassing should not happen in health
But we're not canvassing. I told you.
No,
I don't
you
want to
are
see-
not doing that.
I don't want to see
There's leaders.
a single one
What
of
you
your
are saying, we
clients.
completely.
That's not what I'm
It's your,
hearing.
it's your members who
No,
did
but you're
that.
lecturing me. I
It's
haven't
your
gone and canvassed a
members.
single person.
It's your members
You're
who are doing
lecturing
that.
me. I haven't canvassed a single member. I've just arrived at the facility. I just want to get these answers. I'm not even a member in the Northern Cape. I've flown up here from Cape Town in Parliament to come and get these
Honourable
answers.
Member
So please,
of
can you stop
Parliament,
lecturing me
we never
about what other people
said
have done?
you are coming for electioneering because we have
You're
explained
implying
to
it.
us.
You've been implying
No,
it.
By
no, I
implication.
never
All the
implied.
time.
I
Exactly
said
what
what
we
you are
do.
saying. Your
implying it the
members,
whole time.
your members, when
Yes.
they
Mr.
came
Jack,
here.
when are we going to
Let's
the
go.
answers?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let us see. There's no issue. You make an issue out of nothing. There's nothing. There's no issue here. You can't be funny. But what we are just trying to say is that you cannot get into the facility. One present to have a copy of the press statement that was released by the National Ministry of Health on this issue. As I've indicated earlier, that what we observed of DA members before the leadership of DA arrived in the facility, it's in line with what the statement is trying to address here. And unfortunately, we won't be able to further engage on this, but other than just to make it very clear that we were abiding with what the National Health Council, as the highest decision-making body in health, have decided that electioneering in health facilities is unacceptable, and that if elected public representatives wish to play oversight as individuals, they need to get permission of the executive authority. In this case, that will be MEC for health in the province, in which the individual MP or MPL intend visiting. Both reasons will have to be furnished in that instance. And I must emphasize that the intention is not to restrict people's liberties or to restrict political parties from playing oversight and the like. But what we have observed earlier of members of the DA who were here before the leadership came got us worried, because it was actually in transgression of what was actually issued. Now, what we would actually request the Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Steenhuisen, as well as the Honourable Lowe, in their individual capacities as public representatives, to further engage with the provincial legislature as well as with the national parliament on this thing. The CEO, acting CEO, won't be in this meeting to explain on the issues. What we are going to do, we're going to look at all the issues that they have raised, they want clarity on, and then we'll respond to those issues. I should think that's how we would actually deal with this issue.
May I respond? I'm not sure what the status of the press release is or how it overcomes and overtrumps the oversight and accountability model that's adopted by the Parliament of the Republic of South Africa, in which in section 4.62 recognises the important role of individual member oversight to facilities. I certainly want to place on record that neither Mr. Lowe nor myself have engaged in any party political activity or engaged with a single member or patient in this facility. We simply arrived this morning to seek answers around load shedding and its impact on health facilities. This is our responsibility as public representatives, and I must say I'm very concerned at the level of hostility and subterfuge we've been met with. In my 20-something years as a public representative, I've never experienced this level of disrespect to members of parliament visiting an institution, being kept outside, not even being afforded the opportunity to talk in a room, being essentially stopped from being able to ask questions. However, I'm here to answer, get questions asked. I will certainly be taking up Mr. Motsaledi's direction. I believe it is unconstitutional. I believe it is illegal, and I believe that the decision made by the NSC in directing members of parliament how they can interact with heads of institutions which are paid for by the public of South Africa is unlawful, and we will, and is of no force and effect, and we will look at every aspect we can to challenge both in parliament and legally through the courts this very cynical attempt by Mr. Motsaledi to clearly prevent oversight of health facilities, because obviously what's being uncovered in these health facilities is incredibly embarrassing to Mr. Motsaledi and his department. And that is what this is about. It's about clamping down, because if you're running a good department, if everything is above board, you should be welcoming people into your facility to show them how well it is being run. That is not the impression I've got here today. It's not the impression I've got when a minister, a few months before an election, is to issue a directive like this. When members of parliament have been doing oversight work in health facilities around the country, and this is not the first facility I've visited. Certainly in this year, it's not the first health facility I've visited in my 20 years career, but this is the first health facility that I've been met with this incredible hostility and uncooperative behavior, and I sincerely hope it doesn't continue, and that is why it's even more important that Mr. Motsaledi's misdirected, unlawful, illegal
in violation of the oversight and accountability model of the very parliament he belongs to, has been undermined in this way. We'll take it up in another forum. I'm not here to discuss that. I want to get answers around the generators and the effect of load shedding. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that proper briefing, John. In addition to that, I think it's also important to stress that our concern here is really based on the bread and butter issues. And the bread and butter issues that we're referring to here are the following. We must also consider that this is a department that 84% of the Northern Cape population, which is approximately 959,000 people, are directly dependent on government's healthcare. And it is exactly for that reason that we are here today, because it's important for us as a party, but also here as a DA, to become a mouthpiece for those people who will directly be affected by load shedding here in our province, but more especially also here at this facility. But I'm not surprised at all, because this is the department which is well known for over a decade that is not bothered with doing anything as far as management is concerned. Mismanagement in this department, that's something that has been carrying on for a decade and more. And I'm not surprised that this morning that for whatever reason, the officials here would want to stop us for not doing our oversight responsibility. I also want to contextualize. This is a department that in the 2017-18 financial year, there was a shortfall on a budget of R500 million. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, this is where we want to get answers, to find out, given the fact that there was a R500 million shortfall on this particular department, we want to come and check, as far as load shedding is concerned, how ready is this department? Can they handle the challenges? Or do they have contingency plans in order to make sure that they can address the most important issue? And that is the issue of dependency of 84% of the people of this province who are directly dependent on the health care of this department. That is the reason why we are here. Yeah. Well, Mr. Chairperson, on behalf of the department, what we would like to check with you also this morning, and thank you eventually that we managed to have this opportunity to actually raise a couple of questions. The question that we have raised, and even before I go any further with this, because it's important for me just to put this matter into perspective. Mr. Jack, my office have issued a notification, and we will also, once again, we have produced the proof that we have requested to have this meeting in order to engage with yourselves regarding the issues that we want to raise here this morning. I am really disappointed because it has never happened in the past, and I'm really shocked that something like this all of a sudden has happened where we have to come and do some oversight here. And I mean, I must also put it on record because we don't want to sound like hypocrites. This department was cooperative in the past, and it really, I'm stuck. I'm stuck now that John Steenhuisen is here with me this morning, that we are not allowed to come and do oversight, despite the fact that there was a communication in writing to yourselves, as well as there was a media alert sent out to the media to accompany us on this occasion as well. But be that as it may, we want to check that how many generators does this facility have? And how many backup generators does this facility have in the unlikely event when something happens that needs immediate intervention? And in terms of what is the cost of running these generators? Because we must also understand that this is one of the departments that is, as I've mentioned earlier on, that R500 million did not get that, there was a shortfall on their total budget. And what also worries me a lot is one of the questions that I've jotted down here is the fact that this is a department, despite all the guidelines available, still contravenes every procurement regulation in the book and fails to divert money to where it is most needed. And those are the things that actually give rise to us coming to this facility. So yeah, maybe if we can get some responses on the question that I've raised, I'll really be welcome. Notwithstanding the fact that on my left-hand side, I also have my colleague, Waitumelo Babuseng, who is also a member of the legislature and who's also a member of the Scopa Portfolio Committee. And I'm pleased to have him here with us also here this morning. Thank you very much.
Can I put my questions on that? Can I put my questions, if I may.
Yes, we can continue, sir.
Okay, I just want to find out when the generators at the facility were last serviced. Does the hospital have the necessary funds to extensively run the generators should rolling blackouts resume and escalate? How long those generators can operate for? What has been the impact of load shedding on the hospital so far? And has any adverse incidents occurred as a result of the load shedding? And then my final question relates to the procurement of diesel. As in other provinces, hospitals are finding a problem in procuring diesel because diesel is being absorbed up to run main generators and turn turbines, that there's a shortage, and whether the hospital has a supply of diesel and whether they've encountered any problems in terms of accessing diesel to power those generators. Thank you.
I wish to thank the honorable members for the questions that they have posed. I must indicate that we never had any mishap, as Mr. Lowe has indicated in the recent past, where there were oversight requests that were requested by the DA in particular. And it's a pity that this one, what is being referred to as a request, was only communicated only yesterday, as I'm told, that we haven't seen. In light of that, we are requesting just to provide answers to all the questions in writing within the next 24 hours to the DA. And I thank you for being present in this process.
May I ask who the questions will be sent through to? Will they be sent to Mr. Lowe? Will they be sent to Mr. Lowe, the answers?
The answers will, yes, we do have the contact details.
And you're committing to do that in the next
We
24
will,
hours?
in 24 hours, we'll give answers in writing to all the questions.
I think also perhaps it will also be prudent that if you have readily available questions on paper, then you can also furnish it so that we don't read things construe, especially what we don't have.
Well, I also need to put on record that in the light of the current situation, we will afford the department the opportunity to respond to the questions. We will also suspend the oversight in terms of doing a kind of a roadshow to take us through the generators that you have on site. Because you see, at the moment, we never want to be caught in a situation where, for whatever reason, impression is being created outside there that we are trying to destabilize the operations, the day-to-day operation that is happening there. We are sitting here in a boardroom with 3 members of the Democratic Alliance who are asking questions relating to load shedding and the readiness thereof. And I will be waiting with bated breath, Mr. Jack, because I also need to say that it's not the first time that this and other departments in particular have raised the same thing to say that we're going to get responses within 24 hours, which to date we have never received. But we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt and see whether we will be receiving these questions and the replies. Failing which, I will be left with no choice but to approach, to explore other avenues. Because this is also a department that whenever they want to run away or want to get off the hook, then they would use the excuse to say, we will reply in writing within 24 hours. I'm sitting here with my colleague on the left-hand side, who's a member of SCOPA, who can attest to the fact that I, in person, have more than on numerous occasions, have submitted written questions to this department. And many of them, to date, I've never received any responses. And if you want to, because I'm not playing politics here, I can once again forward you those questions that I've never received any responses to. But thank you very much for this opportunity, and we're looking forward for your replies. Thank you.
Thank you.